that we are at a tie match at the top. Double gen pop to avoid the deadlock. They do go down. There is a haste status effect. They do have to be careful here. The hatch is going to spawn momentarily. Deadhard could get them the distance to get it too. Shot.
Really smart play on the ace. Oh my god, getting shot through the window.
No longer have distortion, and they are going to teleport here. I think they get there in time. Yes!
Oh, the grab! Yes!
Oh my god!
That is disappointing. This is be a 4-man out because.
Yeah, but they will be able to block this. Yo, getting caught on that. Ace coming with the body block. Oh, they were here. All right, welcome back everybody to Champions of the Fog. Not littlerugaard's personal channel like I had just streamed it to. I apologize for that. Hopefully nobody caught that, but with that said, welcome back. We are in, what is this, week number 3? We in week number 3, Jukebox?
I think so, yeah.
All right, excellent. And again, I am joined once again by Jukebox, none other than the Jukebox hero themselves. I'm excited. Have you been on in season 3 yet? Have I just missed you this whole time?
Or season 4? I was doing qualifiers. I don't know if I've done any of the games since it started, though. I don't think I have.
All right. Well, welcome into season number 4. Probably still know infinitely more than I do, as we're going to be on Larry's. This is the first time I've casted a game on Larry's, unironically.
Oh, boy.
Oh, it's going to be spicy. We got Iconic versus Arctic Wolves, and we're going to be seeing a Spirit right off the bat. So no real stealth killer, just a lot of violence. A lot of violence.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit disappointed to not be seeing, like, you know, like a Ghostface or Sadako or something. But, you know, Spirit can work on this map, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were talking about before. I'm shocked because there's also going to be nurses later on as well. I'm surprised at the nurse pick, because when I'm a nurse on this map, I'm hating my life. Like, this is the one map I cannot play nurse on, so they must have something up their sleeve to be bringing a nurse to a Spirit fight.
They must, because nurse does tend to struggle on these maps with lots of LOS blocks, so maybe there's some hidden tech that we don't know about.
All right, there we go. Had to fix an audio bug. We're I have, so just transparency, I had to do some mic updates on my own, so we're gonna have a little bit of audio technical stuff occasionally, but it should be overall better. You shouldn't hear a massive fan the entire time. And
well, that's good.
Also, where's the corrupt?
That's what I was gonna say. Notice there's no corrupt intervention. This is something that we see in a lot of other tournaments that do indoor maps more often, because the gens are usually hard to find or whatever. Like corrupt intervention just isn't used as much because survivors are not going to jump on gens as soon as they spawn in. So you see that a lot actually on these maps.
Interesting. Well, I'm glad I have you here, because that is a lot of knowledge I didn't have. And now I was about to say, we have Ruin, and it looks like by the looks of it, there are 2 totems. So it's probably a Ruin Undying as well. And I'm about to say, this is one of the only maps I would consider taking totems on, unironically.
Oh yeah, this map is great for totems. And survivors also know of Sloppy Butcher being in the game as well, applying Mangled and Hemorrhaging, which is also really brutal to deal with on this kind of map. You know, coordinating where to reset and then having a really long reset, and maybe even getting interrupted by that if, you know, if the Spirit's traveling the map in phase. It can be pretty dangerous, and we're already catching a survivor out here and getting the first down of the game at 5 generators.
But I'd say pretty impressive showing from Spirit so far. I get it now. I'm just so shocked, because every time I go to this map and the survivors know what's up, I just feel like I'm such on the back foot. But I guess if you practice stealth, it's a bit different. Again, like I'm out of my element here. I have never seen comp on Larry's.
I think one of the things about Larry's that is actually good for the killer is you can catch survivors out of position constantly. As you can see, it's happening for the 2nd time in a row. These survivors are not quite in position for where they need to be because of how spread out some of the tiles are. And with the Dead Hard getting a little bit different, if it weren't for the Dead Hard, that would be 2 downs right there because of the positioning of this map being so awkward to work around. And you see there's like no pallets in this area.
Yeah.
I mean, not much you can do here.
Yeah, I will say those quarter pallets are technically safe, but once you break them, you're not safe anymore. Just running away and, oh man. Another hook coming in. Yeah, only 1 gen done so far for these survivors. I'm kind of surprised, though. I have seen some horrendous 3 gens on this side of the map before that are just so tightly packed. So if that's the case, I don't even know if they can break it.
Yeah, I mean...
Not quite a 3 gen.
It's not, yeah, it's not quite a 3 gen, but it's still tight enough, especially if they don't find the ruin and are constantly being pressured off by Spirit. I mean, it's really hard to get gens done in that situation.
Absolutely. And actually, okay, I take that back. I did technically play comp on an indoor map because my own map was Hawkins, but that's not Larry's.
Yeah, Hawkins is much easier to play around with, in my opinion.
Yeah, do you think we'll ever get Hawkins back? At least like the tiles set?
I can hope. I can hope. I loved that map.
I got pretty fed up with it because it was the only map I played on for like a year straight, but I have to admit I'm starting to miss it as well.
Yeah. So another thing to note that we didn't mention at the start of the game is the add-on choice from our Spirit here. So she's got longer duration, but that purple add-on right there, that allows her to, the phase sound will be emitted throughout the entire map, no matter where the survivors are to her.
Oh, no.
So in a map like Larry's that's super hard to communicate in sometimes, people may be caught off guard and not know where she's coming from just because you might not be able to call out, oh, you know, she's in this location because, I mean, there's a lot of LOS block too. So I think that's kind of what they were going for, and I actually really, really do agree with that pick on this map.
Do you think the survivors might have been able to call it out by now after hearing so many different phasing
Oh,
noises?
yeah, definitely. They definitely know it's there, but, I mean, what are you supposed to do at that point? Even if you know it's there, it's going to be really hard to work around. And we see a single survivor coming in for save here, which, as we've seen in the past, can be quite dangerous.
Very, oh, they are going to be able to get the trade here.
That's going to be huge for the survivors here. That was very nearly a death. And it looks like we're just opting to take the pick here. But, you know, with phase back, they could probably go and tunnel that survivor out.
Absolutely. And I will say, yeah, the gamble there, sending Zarina in by themselves paid off. They do get to finish 2 gens. So finding the Cheryl instead of the Claudette might be getting off scot-free here. However, everyone is injured and very vulnerable.
Yeah, the amount of pressure the Spirit's putting up right now, they have a hook, everyone injured, and their rune is still up. I mean, these survivors really need to find a spot to reset, or else they're just going to go down one by one and drop like flies.
Absolutely, and no effect on the double back there, and they're going to leave us slugged, and... Okay, never mind, they saw... It's really cool the killer can see the hook or a turn and know when a hook happens before it happens. It's such a nice little, Easter egg? I don't know. I don't know what you'd call that. Feature?
I get, yeah, like a little feature or a little tech or something. I'm not really sure. It definitely is very useful. I think right now is the only time these survivors have had in a while where they're not fully pressured to like reset. But if they're caught out here, this could be insanely good for Arctic Wolves.
Quite so, and we do see Jill getting a reset there. No sign of Zarina or the Claudette, so I'm guessing they're off in the corner healing, but we do see a Crow.
Ooh.
And I didn't hear a thing. I think they heard the Jill walking and hit the Zarina.
Yeah, that's another thing about this map that's really good for Spirit, is that the footsteps are always going to be heard no matter where you are on the map. It's so loud.
Very loud and echoey. And worth noting, we do see a totem going down, but Ruin is still available. And it looks like the Spirit is heading right back to that totem. I wonder if survivors might know about it by now, where it is. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that survivor has to know.
Yeah, there's no way they haven't at least heard it by now.
Ooh, faking the phase there. Well done. And Dead Hard going to save them, but not for long, as this is... I don't feel like this is a safe ballot at all.
Oh, especially versus a Spirit, not at all. But it looks like a little bit of mind game trickery here, and she will take distance. But with this pallet not being here, this should be the hit.
Oh, well done.
And
almost
there
paid
it is,
off.
yeah. Almost did, yeah. I mean, she definitely saved a few seconds there, which can make all the difference. As we see, 2 of the survivors are reset right now, so they've been able to bring their pressure back a little bit. This could be recoverable, but this is going to be a kill for the Spirit. And we're down to a 1v3 at 2 gens.
And if my knowledge serves me right, yeah, one of those... Oh, no, Cheryl.
No.
Oh, that is unfortunate. That might be lights out. Yeah, because they still got a decent string of gens here with the middle one still intact. And Ruin's gonna be regressing that one with.
Yeah. With Ruin still being up, that's going to be really hard to deal with on the Survivor side here. And they have so many stages already. I think we could see a potential 4K here.
It's starting to look like that. They do cleanse Ruin, though.
That's huge.
That is massive. And this arena is fresh and taking them to the other side of the map. Do you think we'll see a commit to the gen? Instead of going for that unhook? I'm also wondering if there's kinship in play. Okay, it didn't look like it was moving that much. I might have been wrong, though.
Yeah, if the Spirit commits on this side of the map to this arena for too long... Okay, we do get the injure here, though, so we can actually commit to this. But, I mean, those Survivors, if they could go off and double a gen and possibly pop it in time, and that could be a way to bring this back a little bit in their favor.
Right, they only have 4 hook stages left, though, so only one person's not death hook.
Yeah, they did opt to reset, though, and wow, this Spirit is very accurate with her phases.
Absolutely. Like, I'm not hearing these footsteps that they are. Oh, they almost got the blind. That would have been sweet. Oh yeah, you can set up some cheeky flashlight saves on this map, can't you?
Yeah, you know, you have to really die in like the middle of rooms and stuff though, because of all the walls. But it can happen. The thing is that in going for the flashlight save, that was one less survivor on generators. We get the pallet stun here, and Cheryl's gonna be making a little bit of distance and trying to take as much time away from the spirits that at least one more gen can pop. I mean, a 4K at 2 gens is really rough, but a 4K at 1 gen is slightly more doable on the killer side.
True. I mean. It's a nurse though. I'm really curious to see how a nurse handles this.
I mean I am too. I don't think I've ever seen nurse on this map in a competitive environment in my entire life.
Yeah, quite interesting. Again, I'm out of my element, so I wouldn't know. But like, and I'm not the best nurse. I'm not even about to say. I know there's so many nurses that are just infinitely better than I'm like maybe like top 30,000. I'm gonna put there. But on this map, I hate it. I hate everything on this map. I don't know.
Yeah, there are certain areas where you can definitely walk survivors down and force really good hits, but there's a lot of areas that have so much LOS block.
Mm-hmm. It's like a nurse looping paradise, and they do find the Jill here. But I say they lost track of survivors for a while though. Oh, they do get the hit though. I don't like this Spirit is cracked. I could not hear these footsteps. I wonder if it's an audio bug.
It might be, because I'm also having trouble hearing them too, which is a little strange. Looks like we're going to be seeing a commit in the chase, but we get the pallet stun. That was really well played from the Jill there.
I'm wondering if Cheryl's going to be able to complete a gen with this chase, though. Like you said, make
I think she
4
can.
gens.
I think she can, yeah. I mean, the Spirit has 2 options. She can either drop chase and check gens or commit to this for the hook, and it looks like we're going to be seeing a committal from the Spirit, which I think could result in a gen being popped across the map, especially if you see how far this Jill is from all of the gens right now.
Right. And they are going to go for... No, not going for the 4-man slug. Is Jill death hook?
I want to say yes, but I don't actually remember which one was hooked more.
Okay, that's the other thing, is that... Where does the hatch spawn?
Oh, she's not death hook, okay. The hatch?
They did 4th gen.
Oh, that's big. That's really big. They definitely needed that gen. I mean, you can 4K at 1 gen for a tie at the very least, relatively easily if you're really, really good at playing this map. But like you said, it's gonna be nurse. So I'm really curious to see what these what Iconic brings to the table here with their nurse.
Okay, is it just me or did Jill just do a disappearing act?
Yeah, definitely. She is completely gone. I have no idea where she went either, and neither does the Spirit.
She walked around the corner and vanished. This is some urban evasion fixated stuff right here. Good night.
Most likely, there's got to be something in the works here. I mean, she's just gone. There's no scratches anywhere. Did she quick and quiet dance with me out of a window or something?
That would have been pretty sick. That is the tech oldest time on this map. I remember watching YouTube videos from like puffers back in the day doing stuff like this on this map, and I'm glad it still exists.
Yeah, quick and quiet dance with me is used almost every time on this map, from what I've seen in competitive, especially in tourneys that don't allow a lot of perks. You know, you just run what you have to. But I mean, if I were the survivors, I would be running a live quick and quiet dance with me on this map, 100%.
Absolutely, it is a good stuff. And also maybe I don't know. I just want to see a head on personally, but.
That would be fun.
Oh, they found the Jill. Yeah, this Jill's not gonna be able to get away with her leaking that much blood. Question is, so yeah, I was wondering, where's the hatch spawn on this map? Is it random?
It's either random. It's either random or at the library. I can't remember. not quite able to land that hit. And I mean, there was a generator by that exit gate that had a lot of progress. If the Spirit commits too long, they could pop it and open the exit gate before this down happens.
That's a very good point. Jill and Cheryl making essentially lemonade with no lemons, just water. They are turning water into lemonade here. And just absolutely doing their best. I mean, there is a lot of better loops on this side of the map, it looks like, than where they started.
Yeah, it looks like the Jill, you know, couldn't quite hear the direction of the phase and committed to one side of the pallet by accident. That is rough. I mean, that's got to be like this is like a nerve-wracking situation.
Absolutely.
You know, like having to hold off for that long to get that gen pop. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it popping soon.
True. It just depends on which gen they were on. It sounds like the middle gen has a lot more progress than I remember, too. Yeah, that gen has not been worked on. It looks like Cheryl might be trying to... Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you can do exit gate tech on this map as well, much easier than other maps.
Especially since, you know, so there's two things in favor of that. There's all the walls, so Killer can't really, like, you know, peek a corner and be like, oh, I don't see a red light, let me go back. They have to go all the way to the gate, and also there's a lot of really nice hiding spots, too.
True. I didn't think about that. Yeah, the 1v... Oh, Cheryl... So close. Killer looked around just in time to see her crouching in. I think this might be the end here, unless there's an unbreakable. I would think what we say.
An unbreakable or another disappearing act. Really good pallet pick from the Cheryl here, landing the hit now. Vaults the pallet, I think. No, she's making a lot of no dance with me. She's making a lot of distance though. I mean, this was the survivor that made the disappearing act last time, so we might be able to see it again.
They do get the pick on the Jill though. Does Cheryl have Unbreakable, maybe? I can't tell.
I mean, the only reason I would go for a play like that is with an Unbreakable. That'd be really curious to see. But just the fact that their gens don't have nearly enough progress, I mean, there's really not much they can do here.
Oh my goodness,
Jill,
so close.
Yeah, the juice from these survivors right now is really good. They're definitely feeling the pressure, but they're handling it well.
They are, it seems like they are very adept. They are in their natural environment. Oh my goodness. So many close whiffs that we're seeing.
Yeah, we are on that side of the map for any killer mains out there that know what I'm talking about. But it looks like Jill is leaving that area. I mean, it's either Unbreakable or going for a bleed out.
Maybe, but they gotta wait a long time for a bleed out.
Yeah.
Nope, going for the drop, and looks like they're going to head back to their other slug. I'm really probably worried about that Unbreakable, potentially. I mean, I would at this point.
I mean, I feel like it would have been used by now, considering how long that chase was. But I guess they just want to make sure they don't lose the survivor for a bleed out, because that tends to happen on this map.
True, this map is... many maze-like properties, and honestly this has been a really cool match to see for I guess my first Larry's comp match. It's pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah, this definitely was a good introduction to the Larry's comp mindset here. I'm personally a huge fan of indoor maps and competitive. I think that they really show the skill, you know, and the difference in skill between each team. I mean, because most teams will practice on, outdoor maps all the time. That's where a majority of the games take place. So teams that do really well on indoor maps, it really shows how much work they've put into improving themselves in these more niche situations. And I really like seeing the skill difference between the teams and how much they've worked on it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't have any practice trying to do these indoor maps, because if I get an indoor map that's not mid-witch, I'm just like, as a killer man, I'm just like conceding, like, all right, if they're good, I'm probably getting 3-outed.
Yeah, you know, it used to be that Hawkins and Midwich were like good maps, right? But now there's, I think Midwich is the only indoor map I would consider not like absurdly survivor-sided, because the other three are ridiculous.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, personally, even as a killer main, I kind of wish they would add, like, we got what, 2 rooms on Midwich that are dead zones with no pallets. I wouldn't mind getting pallets there. Like, I wouldn't mind Midwich getting a little bit of a tune-up, you know? Yeah, and luckily they found the Jill in the basement, but I think you're right. I think Cheryl might actually end up with a bleed out here.
Yeah, it all depends. It's a bit of a mind game, right? Because the obvious spots would be the exit gates and the corners. So do you think that they're hiding in the obvious place as like a double mind game, or do you think they're hiding somewhere really weird and the spirit's looking there now, you know? Because You can, you know, hiding in the obvious place can be a really good mind game because they're gonna say, "Oh, these are obvious spots. The survivor's not gonna go here, right?" So
Right.
there's that. And it looks like they're checking the outside areas.
Yeah, I would have gone into one of the bathroom stalls or something because it's really easy to hug one, and the audio doesn't always play through the wall sometimes, depending on the orientation. So
True.
I don't know. Yeah, there's so many spots to check. Deerstalker is the new meta on Killer? Question mark?
On this map, maybe. Yeah,
there's
you never. There's Hatch, so I guess we'll have to see if that's the set spawn for Hatch on this map. But it looks like the bleed out is gonna happen. Fortunately for Arctic Wolves, it was only a one-stage bleed out.
True, only losing
Not
one
the end of the
point
world.
there. But I mean, in a game, if it's actually gonna be this close at the time, that's 4 gens done, 1 bleed out, so it's just a little bit less points for the Killer, but really well done. Okay, so no Dance With Me on the live. In fact, I don't see any of the things I thought I would have saw in that Survivor. I don't see Fixated or Urban or nothing. Honestly, this kind of looks like a standard comp build.
It really is. You know, I definitely like taking advantage of some of the stealthy perks on these indoor maps, but I mean, all these perks that were picked are solid picks. These are not picks that you want to drop lightly.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And I guess we'll see probably a little bit more diversity when this new perk change comes up as Behavior drops some changes that they again, I've been kind of high on Behavior the past 2 months. They've been really killing it. And then they listen to the community on some of the feedback. Like, how do you feel about the new changes?
I'm like mostly like 95% excited about the changes. There's a couple that I'm not a huge fan of, but a majority I'm a fan of to the point where I'm excited.
Okay, so top 2 favorite changes, bottom 2 favorite changes, go.
Oh my, I gotta pull up like my list here.
Oh, you got a list?
Yeah, I do. I made a tier list talking about all the changes and what I think were the healthiest and the most. Okay, so my top 2. I do like what they did with Off the Record. I just think it's too good.
Okay.
I like the concept. I think it just needed to be toned down a bit.
Okay. Okay, fair.
I'm really happy with the Dead Hard change. I think that it's honestly in a perfect place where it's not completely useless, but also not absurdly strong.
Even after the half-second change?
I mean, it's just going to allow a really precise timing, in my opinion, which, I mean, versus different regions is going to be tough for comp, but for pub play, I think that once people adapt to it, they'll realize it's not as bad as they think it is.
It's going to be good against Trickster, I can give you that.
Yeah. For sure. I'm a huge fan of the NOED change because I'm not one of those people that thinks that NOED needs to be like nerfed into the floor.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfectly healthy perk for the game. I just think it needed something, and this is probably the best change that they could come up with, and I think they did a really good job thinking of it that way.
By far the most unique change that I've heard, because I didn't hear anyone give any kind of suggestion like that, so I actually really like it too.
Yeah, I think they did an excellent job. When it comes to like the bad changes, I mean, did Corrupt really need a nerf?
So the only thing I will say from their perspective, I understand why they did the change the way they did, because they looked at it and what does Corrupt do? It gets you pressure without having gens just fly off the shelf. And so their thought is, okay, what makes it oppressive? It sticks around for 2 minutes. Okay, well, what if we gave it a cutoff point? I get the logic they went through, even if I don't completely agree with it. Like you said, I don't think it needed to be touched. I get why they did it, and I can kind of appreciate the mindset they had.
Yeah, I can see the direction they were going in. I don't personally agree with it, but it's not the end of the world. It'll still be a very, very top pick in my book.
Indeed.
Did Spine Shell need to get nerfed?
I'm okay with that vault speed, okay? I'm okay with less vault speed.
Did the colorophobia change need to be that bad? Did Iron Will need to be nerfed the way it did?
What is it, Calm Spirit?
Didn't they adjust it to make it like not bad now? Or,
okay, I didn't see where they adjusted it.
I don't know if they did or not. I heard them talking about it. I don't know if they did actually, because if they didn't, I mean, then it's just gonna be a bad perk, like straight up. It's a nerf to Calm Spirit, actually.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that moment when they buff Phobia but nerf Calm Spirit, you're like,
I think it's funny how they're still talking about Borrow Time as a nerf. That still cracks me up.
It's like, it's base kit, which is great. I'm happy for that in like, to a degree anyway. I'm kind of happy. But then Borrow Time itself is like really good.
It actually got buffed. I don't understand how they can consider it a nerf.
Yeah. It is something. And
Yeah.
anyway, with that said, we'd love to hear what you guys think in the chat. Again, we're gonna take a quick break here as we get this lobby set up, and we'll be back in just a moment. Remember, you are our sponsors. We do appreciate your patronage. All the subs, bits, donations, and watch time during these ad breaks are very helpful to us on the back end. Keep things updated and running. And with that, we will see you in just a minute. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back, folks. We're going to trial number 2 here. It's going to be a nurse, same map, different killer, and I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. I guess it really just comes down to how well built that nurse is, but I'm scared. I'm very scared.
Yeah, as I said, there are certain parts on the map where nurse can actually thrive, but
Yeah.
there's so many spots where the LOS block is strong. I think it's just going to come down to, like, does this nurse have insane predictions?
Yeah. That is fair. Maybe a little bit of a coin flip more often than not. And I guess how much head start do the survivors have in getting out of dodge? You know, how much distance can they put between that first blink?
Yeah, as stated before, the positioning on this map can be kind of tricky to establish, especially earlier on. And so I think it'll be interesting to see how each side adapts to this.
Absolutely. And okay, I can't spoil anything, but this build from the nurse is amazing, and I love it. I cannot wait to see how this plays out.
Yeah, this is quite the build, and you can already see a couple of totems on the map here, so that can hint at, you know, what we might be expecting. We see the no corrupt, just like the spirit match.
Ooh, there's that undying aura value. Let's go.
Oh, snap.
And they're going straight for the totem cleanse. The nurse sees that the nurse is coming. Can you cleanse in time? No, that survivor knows what's up. Question is, can they hide? I think they can.
It's doable. You just don't want to be hiding in a spot where if the nurse catches you out, it's going to be a 2-tap. The last thing you want is an M1 into a blink down, because that'll be instantaneous.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
First hit coming in.
There you go. Unfortunately, no corrupt timer to really tell me what's going on here. Oh my goodness. That R reading is insane, though. Is that what was that noise notification we just saw?
Either a window or a skill check.
Hope it's not a skill check for these survivors' sake, but first hook coming in here. Kind of similar start to the spirit. No real gens done just yet. And as you all can guess by now, it's Ruin and Undying. But as the survivor that's on hook is also where it's Plaything. I do not remember the last time we saw Plaything, but you know what? For this map, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really tricky on the survivor side, because you can hear the nurse's blinks and stuff, but at a certain distance, it can actually mess you up.
Absolutely, and second hook coming in for the... Honestly, nurse kind of mirroring what the spirit had. 2 hooks, 1 gen finally popping for the survivors. They do get a reset here on the Cheryl. I guess the question is, I don't think this is the Cheryl's scratch marks. I think this is a different survivor. Trying to get a beat on him. No, it is the Cheryl. They do get the chance to tunnel this survivor out. Undying is out of the game now. Actually, I never thought about that. Undying versus Plaything.
Yep. It's a weird interaction you don't see often.
That is very weird, but... All right, looking like there's a decisive in play. They do hit the decisive. Lori does get reset at the same time as the obsession switching targets, and now how far can the Cheryl go? Okay, nurse is pretty cracked, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, their blinks are on point. They're doing a lot of predictions, which is exactly what you need to do on this map. If you play too many safe blinks, they're just going to take distance on you, but I feel like these survivors just don't have quite the distance they need in order to break the LOS like you could be able to.
Indeed.
You got to be unpredictable with your movement, too.
Absolutely, and as the final bit we can see, there are some totems that are off color, which is a side of Pensamento. So we know all 4 perks now, as I believe they are going to, light up that first totem, and this is a very interesting build. I wonder where they got this from. Is this normal?
This is the... See, I don't know if I would say the Plaything is normal, but I have seen the Ruin Thrill...
Ruin Pensamento, yeah.
Yeah, the Ruin Undying Penamento is there definitely a lot on indoor maps. You know, obviously we don't see Nurse on indoor very often, so I mean I think the Plaything makes sense on Nurse. I think it really does. Weirdly enough, I think it works.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, you like you said, not corrupt is not nearly as common on these. Oh no, this survivor's dead. Oh no, that might be. That could signal a 4K. They got 4 gens to go.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. This rubber got caught out of nowhere. They did cleanse another toad, which I assume is a plaything because Ruin is still up at the moment. Oh, that is intense. Yeah, I really do like the plaything choice here. It makes things a little more difficult. Sliding up the. Oh wait, no, they cleansed the Pentimento. Okay, so Pentimento got lit up again. Okay.
Yep, always keeping it at 1. Yeah. It's tricky. Always keeping the Pentimento at 1 is such a strong amount of pressure you can put on so freely, especially when you're playing Nurse and it's like, oh, you know, I feel like putting a Pentimento up in this corner of the map. Let me just blink over there real quick.
Right. Ooh, blinking a little bit into base, but not too badly there. Not over blinking, and Survivor is here. There is Lori getting a hit. Good prediction there. Now I have to see how long this chase can exist. Oh, good live play there.
Yeah, these Survivors really need to have at least one decent chase. If I'm not mistaken, I think popping all 5 gens would be a set win, right?
Yes, I believe you are correct there. Yeah.
Since the 1 point, only 1 point was denied. Yeah, only 1 point was denied, so that would be a set win by like 1 point or something like that. So that's all they need to do. But with 3 Survivors alive, that is quite the task.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it would be very difficult, especially with Pentimento at 30% slowdown here. The previous, remember if I'm wrong, I don't think Spirit had any kind of slowdown per se, just had the, the Ruin Undying.
Yeah, she didn't have any, like, gen slowdown kind of perks, but she definitely, the slowdown was definitely better with the Ruin.
Right. And yeah, to be fair, Ruin did last most of the game in the Spirit game as well. Oh, and that gen is just... Oh, that gen is just gone now. What gen are the Survivors on? They get the unhook on the Lori. Okay, that was the one that's been working on. Okay, corner gen. Oh, they were breaking the 3 gen back here. Okay. I can appreciate that. Oh man, such just really well positioned blinks. And like I said, I don't think the Survivors are always taking chase in the parts of the map where it's most beneficial for them to. There's definitely some spots that are a lot more open that the Nurse is taking them in.
Yeah, but it looks like here we're finally seeing some really good LOS block usage, and we just gotta see if this Kate's able to path weird, which it looks like the Nurse is kind of losing her a little bit. Especially, does she have Iron Will? I can't tell from this distance, but I think the Ruin is gonna be going down. So is the Kate.
Another plaything. No, that was Pentimento that went down. So they've gone through 2 Pentimentos, a Ruin, and an Undying. I don't think the Survivors were expecting to have to cleanse this many totems.
Yeah, definitely not. But now they're down to just the one totem, I think.
Yeah, just a single plaything is still available. I think it's on this Survivor right here. No, it wasn't. It was I think it was on Kate because she was the. Yeah, that was her first token. However, this is also Claudette's first token. Is that a Deliverance or a second wind? That was a second wind then. Okay. Good blinks here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this Nurse is absolutely disgusting. Oh, so close. Near miss there on the Lori, and now we're taking chase. Kate does get healed through the second wind, however, not getting the unhook just yet. There's the unhook, and we'll have to see if the tunnel out occurs on the Claudette. They're not going for the tunnel.
Yeah,
I guess they're just confident.
They're just opting for the pickup here, and they also have a Pentimento they can put up over in this direction, which might be the thought process. Get the Pentimento up quickly so that they don't have the gens going.
That's a good point. And yeah, Lori is dead. The question is, are we going to see a similar scenario like we did before, where Survivors are able to get multiple gens done?
I think it's more doable versus a Spirit than it is versus a Nurse. I mean,
that's fair.
Spirit has so much more downtime in between her powers. If you're able to juke a Spirit's power, you know that you got 10 to 15 seconds of free run. But versus a Nurse, I mean, look at these blinks; they're already back.
Yep, the double recharge add-ons are strong. Who would have thought one of the best killers in the game also has some of the best add-ons in the game?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, good attempt there from the Cloud to stealth it out, but not able to avoid it. And that blink was almost perfect. That was scary good.
Oh yeah.
Vaulting Nurse in my game? Good predictions, oh my word. And there's... I hate the spectator bug music for Nurse. Because right now I think this is the bleed out music.
Is it actually? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I think this is the bleed out music. it hits shuffle playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Oh, and now we're in the second phase music. Okay, so it seems like Claudette is our music of choice. I will say this is some pretty intense music though. I'll give it that.
Yeah, definitely highlights the intensity of the situation. Trying to find the last survivor as one is hanging on hook and potentially dying. And
that was weird.
That was weird. Did we find a secret spot on the map that we can blink down into?
Oh, I'm sure Super Up will make a video about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like opting to keep looking for the survivor. See, you know, if you're the survivor right now, I don't think you can win off of a hatch escape, even though you are worth 2 stages. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to do the math on that. I don't feel like doing that right now. So looks like opting for a kill. You know, maybe they did the math already in their heads much faster than me. Maybe this is their win condition. I'm really not sure at this point.
They would need one more gen, I think. If they had one more gen and the survivor got out, yes, I think it would be a tie. But I think they need one extra gen. She does win hatch though. All right. We will wait for the refs to tell us if that is in fact the win condition. I don't think it is. Well, you're denying this. Well, you also deny the Nurse 2 points. That?
Wasn't the survivor 2 stages?
Yeah, she was 2 stages off. So you did. Oh yeah, you denied the killer 3
denied
points.
them 3
well,
points.
I was thinking over the bleed out. I was thinking 2 points over the bleed out.
I think it might have been a tie.
That might have been the win condition. They might have calculated that perfectly. All right, time for the refs to be MVP and tell us what goes on here, because it's so close.
I think that was a tie, actually.
It's very possible.
I mean, because they denied the Nurse 1 point with the bleed out, and they got down to 1 gen. So the difference in points there would have been 5, and getting a 2-stage out and denying 3 points is also a difference of 5. Do you think this is a tie?
I think it's 1 point off. I genuinely think it's 1 point off. No, I think. Oh no, I think we just saw the last point update. I think you might be right, actually. Sorry, I'm watching the spreadsheet live, guys. Nope. Yep. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna bring it back over here. I keep seeing it getting updated because again, the refs aren't in here actively watching this game. They're watching from a separate screen, so it's looking 29-29.
Dang.
Okay. I think, MVP award goes to whoever on the survivor team calculated that was the win condition. It's like, all right, because I think that was why they were not killing themselves on hook initially. It's like, okay, does the escape guarantee the win, or do we need to try and get a gen done?
Mm-hmm.
Well played. Set 1 results in a tie. GG's. All right. We're moving on to round number 2 here. Another map I thought I would never see in competitive. We're going to RPD, folks. That's right. We're going to RPD. I have never, like, Larry's I've heard. What is the benefit of RPD, do you think? Do you see RPD at all?
Yeah, I've seen RPD played a couple of times. It has
Really?
only ever been with the Myers. Mm-hmm.
Only with a Myers is because
Only with the
Myers
Myers
can hold, like, once they get a hook in that corner, you can like force a down for a trade. Like, what's the strat?
I honestly couldn't tell you the reason. I think it's just, I think Myers needs an indoor map, and they didn't want to give him Larry's because he's not good on Larry's, and Midwich isn't very good for him either. I think they just kind of picked RPD because there's some cheeky angles. He's got, Myers has decent add-ons, so you can make stuff work on that map. It's still absurdly survivor-sided, and especially in tourneys like DBE, they literally like ban everything for the survivors. They give Myers every chance he can, and he still doesn't manage to get more than like 5 or 6 stages. It's a tough map.
Myers is in such a weird spot because if you give him Tombstone.
Yeah.
What? Okay, that's not like we're not even no question. That's awful. But like without Tombstone, what does the killer have?
I mean, his tier 3. Okay, you want to know what he has? He has one thing. He has
a lunge and a faster vault speed with bamboozle?
He counters body blocking. That is like about it. You can't body block a Myers. He's one of the only M1 killers that you can't just body block. That's like all he has.
Oh man, and it's funny because one of the other killers that also you can't body block is Sadako, but she's also in that same tier range as Myers. Oh
yeah, definitely.
Oh man. All right. Well, you know what? I'm here for it because, like I said, Spirit Nurse on Larry's. It's also a Spirit Nurse on RPD. So we're gonna get that match set. We'll be back to you in just a short break. Again, thank you much for sticking with us. If you also didn't know, we are hooked up with Stream for a Cause, a charity organization spun up, and we are partnered with them to do a Champions for a Cause tournament at the end of the year. Every winner of COTF is invited to play in it in an all-out battle for Champion of Champions. And that prize pool is directly affected by the donations to Stream for a Cause through Champions for a Cause. And I don't know. I need to write down this bit at some point. That said, donate. It's good cause, and you're helping support us on the end as well. So stay tuned, everyone. Welcome back, everybody. Going into trial number 3 here, round number 2. And it's going to be on the RPD. We're going to start things off. I do believe it is going to be a Spirit starting things off on RPD. And so on Larry's, obviously Corrupt is not the thing after you explained it so eloquently. Is RPD a place you bring Corrupt because you can just lock off half the map for the start of the game? Or is it still not worth it?
I've seen both. Okay. I'm curious to see what these teams will do because a lot of teams do and a lot of teams don't from what I've seen.
Okay.
It's like we are bringing it. We are opting to bring it this time, as you can see.
Indeed. And middle spawn. Okay, so despite the middle spawn, 3 gens on one side are blocked off. So Spirit kind of has an inkling of where these survivors could have started. And again, that same add-on that we saw before on the Larry's map as well. They do find, I think that's Nia already. Very quick spawn.
Yeah, this add-on is really strong on Larry's, and I'm curious to see how well it'll do on RPD. See, RPD is one of those maps that has a bit more space to it, so I feel like positioning isn't quite as much of an issue, especially with all of the really safe pallets. As already arriving at one of these really safe pallets, choosing to take distance away from it. I'm thinking that she's just trying to get away from this area, but then, you know, RPD is half and half really safe pallets and really, really unsafe pallets. But this Claudette's making it work, denying hit for a while without using any resources. Finally taking the hit and running up to the corrupted side of the map here.
Yeah, Nia transforming after walking behind a wall into a Claudette. They do free drop this pallet, very safe. And how many God pallets does this map have? Like 4? 5?
It's definitely got more than most maps should.
I mean, you got so much space, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think most maps have, I want to say 2, where then RPD in the game have a lot more than that.
Yeah, for real though. One thing that I am interested to see is DBD Leaks, which is the most reputable leaking source, I would say, has said that when Resident Evil 2 comes out, that they're going to be cutting this map up into multiple sections like Badham.
I'm down for that.
Man, this Claudette is absolutely amazing. I hear the Claudette. She doesn't have Iron Will, but it's too safe. Claudette knows it too.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be a rough situation to be in as a Spirit. A gen popping and all you have is 1 injury, and it's not a Sloppy Butcher injury like last time. Ooh.
True. They do, however, yeah, that is Oh right, there's a ruin in play. Right. I forgot about that. I was like, so Ruin up here, but there's 2 totems. So probably Ruin Undying then, most likely. I'm surprised survivors haven't tried to find. I guess usually these totems are actually like kind of easy to find, in my opinion, for an inside map. The static,
Yeah,
like, not that many locations.
Just check under all the desks. I'm sure you'll find them.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah, wait, actually, okay, so I will say right there is usually a one I almost consider static, and it's not there, so maybe not as easy as I thought it was, but who knows?
Yeah, but as you can see, this totem that was just looked at here is also under a desk, which is what I usually see.
True.
I see this one, and I see the one across the map upstairs under a desk as well.
Right.
Those are the two common spots that I always see.
Survivor's not back under here at all. Yeah, 2 gens down, only 1 hook for the spirit, and you gotta go find another survivor again. That is really tough.
They got the reset off too. This spirit effectively has 0 pressure on these survivors, and with all of this time spent, you know there was at least 1 survivor on a generator. Because there was the one in chase and then the one going for pull, so there has been 1 on a gen this entire time.
Absolutely. Maybe it, or maybe they're trying to hold down one side of the map, but I don't know how that's gonna work out. How do you hold down one side of the map this entire time?
I don't think you can, especially on this side. As you can see, the gens are split upstairs and downstairs. Another god pallet going down. That's a really good resource to get out of the way, especially if you are planning on playing territorially on this side of the map. But opting to leave and go for a chase, I mean, they need pressure, right? They need to find some pressure somewhere.
They do, and not opting to go for this chase, maybe sensing a survivor on this generator instead. They do sense correctly. This gen actually has quite a bit of progress. Rune's going to do work on that one, but there's still a god pallet downstairs for the spirit to go through, and 110, I don't think you're going to... Oh, you make it to get the hit. Might be able to follow this up with the phase, and are they mind gaming here, or... Oh my goodness, that prediction though. Well done. I can hear the footsteps, but I'm impressed there, so well done there, but still not able to get to that pallet. Okay, how safe is this pallet though?
Not very safe. You need to keep the pallet up for as long as possible and play around it that way. The drop was so early. And it's just going to come down to whether the spirit can get this mind game here, which I think it's very doable.
True. There you go. Yeah, they might not even be attempting to. Totem going down.
Not the ruin.
Not ruin. So ruin's still up. Probably undying then. Finishing a 4th generator. My goodness.
Yeah, I think Spirit really does struggle on this map. There are just way too many safe pallets.
Absolutely. And they know what gen has the most progress. This gen... However, Ruin's still doing a job on it. Who did they just get in chase with? Oh! I didn't even hear a survivor here. Or see a survivor for that matter, but another one of the less safe pallets. However, if you mind game it improperly, she gets that fall right away. Oh, getting through the pallet though. Power back up and it's gonna pursue it.
A lot of distance here and dropping chase and going back to like I don't see. You have 2 options here. If you really think you can hold out on these gens, you go for a tunnel out. But with it being 1 gen left, I think you just want to get some points here and get stages.
Right. Go find your freshest survivors and try and get a hook down all of them. Right. I have to say again, like, oh man, a quick heal on this arena as well. Maybe inner strength even. I think I don't know. I don't think it's unreasonable for inner strength on this map. There's a lot of places you know where the totems are going to spawn. I think it's kind of free.
Got another survivor coming back to this generator. It looks like generator is all but gone now.
True.
Spirit wasted a lot of time regressing this, but they've spent so much time on this side of the map. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the last gen popping soon.
I would tend to agree. Oh wait, never mind. They have a med kit, so they probably just use the med kit then. Another god pallet still available. Like, what is this? This is 3 out of 5 god pallets used already. Survivors still have so many to use.
Yeah,
absolutely insane.
This map is so survivor-sided. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah. No, I tend to agree. I hate it. Oh, dead hard too. Such good timing there. They will end up going down. And this will be 3rd hook for the spirit. I think it's a fresh one though, so they will be getting 3 points out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine we're gonna... Do you even come back in for the survivor? I think you can.
No.
I think you could actually. Well, no, it's a quarter hook.
It's a corner corridor. You can completely block off one side. And, you know, the points you would get from getting the Survivor is not worth it. When you've got a Nurse round coming in and you would be going into it with a win condition of 6 stages, I think you just take your leave here and hope you get a really good round. Because, I mean, even an average round would be this kind of score with a Nurse.
True.
I think that they can just take the 3 out here and play for 6-stage win. I think it's doable.
Well, you don't even need a 6-stage win. It could be a 5-stage technically. If you fresh hook every Survivor, any hook after that is
That is true.
also a win there. So
Door open, not quite leaving yet though. They
Might
might
be
be coming
debating.
in for, yeah.
yeah, as I said, you've got time to talk it out. Not sure what they're doing, but oh, if there's a deliverance here, that'd be so cheeky.
I think there is. No, wait.
Yeah, just a friendly reminder, you're not supposed to attempt Jacoby unless you have deliverance, folks.
Yeah, I wonder if she has it, but she never got a pull, and so she forgot. That would be
going with an edge case. I have deliverance, I just don't have it active.
Let's
No,
see.
they don't have
They don't have. Yeah, yeah, that's. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, weird champ. Just yeah, friendly reminder. Only if you have deliverance active. Anyway, again, really solid play from these Survivors. Really solid play, out of their minds. Just, I mean, like you said, you've got so many god palettes on that map. It's hard as anything other than just like. Actually, I'm trying to think of a killer that is actually like good on this map. I hear people say that Trapper's good. I don't believe them. I think they're high.
I don't think I believe that in the slightest. That is no.
Yeah, I've also people say that Hag's good. I think you're also high, but
Yeah, no, I honestly think that the only killers that is, I don't think
like
they're
Nurse
any.
can be fine, I guess.
Can be, but there are some spots on the map with good LOS. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't think there are any killers where I would load in and be like, ah, yeah, RPD, let's go. Like, I'm usually just complaining and debating the DC button, you know? Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's
I don't think
so
there's any
bad.
killer.
Yeah, I cannot think of anybody in the roster that's good.
Bubba.
I've heard...
Okay, Bubba can make this map work. Okay, no joke. Hear me out.
No, I believe
I have
that.
seen Bubba do well in this map in competitive before. I've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, you get a corner hook, and it's like, who's gonna get the unhook? You just have time.
Yeah.
Well,
But
okay,
still,
after
he
the
struggles
90-second
with
gen
god
change,
palettes.
especially.
Yeah, I think, yeah, he's probably the only killer that I can think of at the moment where I'm like, it can kind of work. But like, he still falls for the same issue's still there. There are so many god palettes.
True.
At least he shreds them, at least.
That's a very good point. That yeah. I don't know. I've heard
Wraith-
people complain
Wraith
to
can
me
work.
that Trickster's OP on this map, and I'm like,
Not at all.
why?
Not at all.
Just shut up. You're just
Wraith
mad.
can work. Wraith can work on this map because he has the really fast pallet breaks and he's stealth.
True.
So he can get some cheeky stuff. So like Wraith and Bub are the only two that come to mind right now. But even then, it's like
They're
would you
hoping
call
for
this-
2 kills.
Yeah, you don't call this a good map for them. You
Yeah.
call this a doable map.
Tolerable.
Yeah,
Palatable.
very compared to the other killers, they're god tier on this map.
Yeah, absolutely. I was tempted to just go down to like the line of killers. I'm thinking like, okay, is there anything other than? But yeah, I really can't think of anything. I guess. Yeah, no, I really can't think of anything. I guess technically Plague could possibly, but I'm not. I wouldn't be
No.
happy about it.
Not a great 3-gen to really hold with
Yeah,
Plague. You know,
it's just because you can if you have her power, you can work around the god palettes a little bit, but otherwise like that's.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not
demo
thrilled about
demo
it.
can work. Demo can work too because he can play around the corridors and he also shreds pallets, kind of like Bubba.
True.
But again, like all of these killers we're listing are like they have benefits, but there's so many downsides that is it
Yeah.
really worth mentioning? Like at the end of the day, it's RPD. There is no killer on this map that is excited to play here.
Absolutely. And luckily, at least, we don't have any boil over flip flop shenanigans going over on this map.
Yeah, no, that would be bad.
But with that said, we'll be getting this last trial set up very shortly. So stay tuned, folks. Again, if you stick through this ad break, we would very much appreciate it, as it does help support us on the back end. All the subs, bits, donations, ad watch time you give us does help us produce more on this and help us keep comp coming to you and keep it fresh when we can. Again, first time I've ever had comp on an inside map, so a lot of interesting things happening here. But with that said, we'll be right back, folks. All right, folks, welcome back. We're getting to the final trial. Well, I say final trial. Depending on how this comes out, it could be kind of close in the end, as that first set was a tie. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing I'll keep it a secret, but if we get to a tie set number 3, it's going to be super spicy. But with that said, we'll be loading here very shortly. And worth noting, refs made me aware that Archibald did receive a -2 penalty for the 4% attempt. So, again, easy way to avoid penalty. Just don't try to Kobe. If you don't have deliverance, don't Kobe. No Kobe. But with that said, that penalty could actually possibly be relevant. It's like an extra hook stage here potentially.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
So we'll have to see if that comes into play here. And Nurse spawning again in the center. No corrupt intervention. Okay, so go in a different route from the Spirit. To be fair, I don't know if it paid off for the Spirit that much, for being honest.
Yeah, I mean, again, you have to consider the killer on the map. It's just going to be rough either way, but I think the corrupt intervention would have helped them a little bit early game, maybe given them a couple stages, but we'll have to see what the Nurse does without it.
Indeed, and they do find a survivor very quickly, but again, like you said, finding that part of the map where you just block line of sight and that survivor is gone. Back to square one. Multiple totems we're seeing here, though. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I mean,
what a prediction.
Granted, I saw the survivor like briefly before the blink, like during the blink, but still just insane. Yeah, prediction absolutely. They might have been expecting him to be on the totem there.
That's probably why they had that direction, because this is the totem spawn I always see.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, that one, and like you said, the desk on the other side of the map, and then even then that one loop where it's like by a desk, not under the desk. I don't know.
No, yeah, definitely. And with the survivors being aware of a ruin, they probably would want to get it out of the way early. So it makes sense that the Nurse would go straight over there.
True.
Not quite landing the hit. I mean, Nurse is hard on this map.
True.
I will say, I think she's good and she can make it work, but this map is just hard for everyone.
Absolutely. Survivor's doing a really good job. First hit of the game coming up, and that looks like it's an overcome or a sprint burst.
It's distance in some way, definitely. And another perk worth noting, survivors are aware of, is the Sloppy Butcher. I think this is again a really good pick, especially on these indoor maps and on S tier, like Nurse. Applying pressure with a bit of hit and run. We got the first gen and first totem out of the way.
Worth noting that that totem was replaced by a white totem, so Pentamento is also a thing.
Oh no.
Good whiff. Sorry, not good whiff. Good 360 there on the Jake, but I don't think Jake's gonna be able to get too far here. Yeah, first down coming in here for the Nurse. However, what gen popped? Was it the one that Claudette was chased from? No, it wasn't.
I actually didn't notice.
I don't think it was that gen, so if they're able to get back on that gen that Claudette was pushed from, they could finish that one. Yeah, they do. 2 gens down for the first. This is again a mirror of the Spirit game, kind of.
Yeah, same sort of situation. I think this really shows the these teams are at a very similar skill level, and it also shows the maps too, and how, you know, whether you're playing Nurse or Spirit, they're still going to be effectively similar in stages and things like that. I think this is definitely one of those matches that you don't want to miss.
I would tend to agree, and they saw Survivor back there, but yeah, I think they realized that their best. I mean, if they have to work through Pentimento, 30% slowdown, camping this Survivor to second stage actually seems pretty good. It is the most open part of the map. Question is, are they gonna be able to cleanse this totem, or no, they're not. Oh, every Survivor's injured now. Could be a little bit of turning point. They do get the unhook on the Jake though during this time. I don't know if they saw the Adam back there on the totem or not though. Oh, this is gonna be close.
With all the Survivors injured, if you can get it down, the amount of pressure you have in that situation is just massive, and it looks like we might be seeing our first down here.
Yep.
Or second down. Our first down with all of them being injured.
Right.
So, you know, with this hook being in play here, only one Survivor is safely able to go for this pull, and there's Pentimento up, and Sloppy Butcher's on 2 Survivors, and Ruin's still up. I mean, so much pressure.
True. These Nurses, I would say, like, at the beginning, it felt like Nurse was really struggling to get a grasp on the game, but Nurse definitely made it come around. However, they are going for resets on multiple Survivors here. Maybe having got together to do a group heal, or maybe it just took that long to get one. Jake gonna take a hit though, and Nurse is not gonna commit. They're just gonna let them go. Do get the unhook, however. This is gonna be a pretty close game, honestly. I was not expecting it to be. Pentimento does go down. Wait, is that Ruin also under a desk? Oh, so close.
Yeah, it is. It is another one of the under the desk spots, as I mentioned earlier. Both totems spawning under desk. I'm telling you, Survivors, check your desks.
True. I mean, I don't get to play Survivor very often these days, but when I do, yeah, if I ever get RPD, just always desk check.
Yep.
And yeah, I think there have been. Okay, I don't know about the other downstairs one, but at least 2 desks at a side desk totem. How did Jake get all the way over? Okay. No, wait, we're on Yunjin. I am struggling to keep up with this game. This is a lot going on. Servers haven't reset besides the Claudette still. Ooh. Good prediction. I didn't see that.
I didn't even see him either. I mean, he kind of blended in there with the environment a bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. Yunjin does get reset. Second hook on Jake. Sounds like a little bit of progress over here on this gen. But again, with Ruin being up, it's only going to be so much. They need to cleanse Ruin. They really need to cleanse it.
Yeah, especially as we enter the mid game here with pressure being applied. Every hit is Sloppy Butcher. You have to keep that in mind, and that is a lot of time wasted when the Survivors do eventually need to reset. Because you are playing against Nurse, you have to reset. You have to reset. You can't even like just play it injured.
True. Unhook on the Jake. However, Claudette going down. I think this is first hook on the Claudette. So I have to be really careful because there's only one Zero that's unaccounted for, and even if they're on a gen right now, it's... Yeah, they were on a gen. And these gens aren't even halfway done, but Ruin is just absolutely destroying them. Yeah, I think Ruin might be... Oh, I see that med kit. Yeah, that's not that stealthy. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and with the Nurse only needing a few more hooks to secure it, it's going to be rough.
Okay, that was pretty cheeky and funny. That might have been a deliverance on the Claudette.
That would be a really good way to remove some of the pressure the Nurse has. They're able to get the resets off. It's just they have so much time, or sorry, they don't have a lot of time, and they're spending it resetting and things, which is kind of needed, but your gens are not going where they need to just because of the pressure that this Nurse is applying with the Ruin and Sloppy. Really,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Absolutely. I feel like the Survivors would have had a chance if Ruin would be gone by now, but again, I think with Ruin still being up, I don't know how much you can do now. Like, even if you cleanse Ruin, the win condition might just be out of reach. This is 5 hook stages. I think there's only 1 fresh Survivor. If they hook that fresh Survivor, I think it's game over.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough considering the game that the Spirit had going into this. You just got to keep in mind this map is just so hard for Killer, and you know, that's just a unfortunate circumstance that they had to play with.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Survivors are doubling up on the gen downstairs. We'll see if it has paid off. Does not seem like it, especially with Survivor being injured. Oh no, yeah, that might. Interesting for the people play on the Yunjin there. Over Claudette here is going in for a second hook stage. I guess at this moment, if they get a 4-man out, I think it's still doable. I think a 4-man out here could save it, but that means you have to do 3 gens, not get another hook, and that's not happening now. I don't imagine Jake is gonna be able to escape and get away.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, that was beautiful. That
Really
was a beautiful wait.
from our nurse.
Yeah, well played. And I think this hook on Jake, I think that Jake's also just dead, but I think this will solidify the points needed to take this game. Really close, though. Oh, my goodness. Survivors were doing so well for the longest time, but as soon as that Pentimento went online, it felt like Survivors just couldn't find the totem for Ruin, and they just never pulled back.
Yeah, if you're able to play the game safe against the nurse, you can have a really strong early game, but as soon as she gets 1 down, snowball begins.
Absolutely. They put it off as long as possible, which, I mean, again, props to the Survivors being able to hold it off that long. But yeah, this Survivor is also dead. Yeah, this is, looks like it is lights out for a Survivor squad. But again, really well played. This was, honestly, for the first time me getting to see some indoor maps in competitive, I have been enjoying this. This has been a roller coaster.
Yeah, this has been fun to watch. You know, I always love seeing stealth killers on this map, but that's kind of the normal. So seeing other killers play on indoor maps and adapting to how it works is really interesting to see.
Absolutely. It doesn't seem like Nurse has too much of a problem. Looking at a little bit of lore, I guess. They finally cleanse Ruin. Unfortunately, it's too little too late.
Yeah, too late for the Survivors here. Another Pentimento goes up, and yeah, I mean, Sloppy Butcher, double injured, Pentimento up. What do you do?
Cry deeply. That's what I would do. I would cry deeply, and it looks like this Adam is crying tears of blood. Good double back. Dead Hard gonna get distance. However, I think they're body blocked into this room.
Yeah.
Oh, they were.
Not a whole lot can be done. We're at the most unsafe palette, and probably the entire game, I would say.
Probably. Seems like the Adam is doing absolutely baller 360s, but not able to evade the Nurse after all. And this will be, I think this is first hook on the Adam. And it's a basement hook. Nope. Nurse looked once at the basement, was like, nope. All right, outside hook. I mean, this does make sure that they can't get in here and camp this exit gate prematurely.
Yeah, and also that hook is really frustrating to get to on Survivor side. There's only a couple entrances in very specific points in the map, so in some ways it can be even better than basement, but not always. It just depends on the situation. But I don't think it's going to quite matter where the Nurse decides to hook, because finding the last Survivor here is all but securing the end of our game.
Indeed, and yeah, we'll see how long this Claudette can last against the Nurse before it goes down. A little bit of a short blink there. Again, you can't obviously in this situation you can't turn down to blink per se, because you'll just go straight to the bottom floor. So good mind games there. Going downstairs now. How fast is Nurse base speed again? 95%?
It's either like I don't know why, but I have 3 numbers in my head, and it's somewhere between 95 and 98. I don't know if it's 95, 96, 97, 98. It's definitely not higher than that.
96 sounds right.
96 does sound right, doesn't it?
Yeah. I wish I remembered the exact number. It's definitely in that range.
Indeed, and there you have it. Nurse securing a 4K on RPD. And I can't state it enough. Survivors were doing really good. It's just, yeah, as soon as that, like you said, that incremental advantage, the sloppy, Ruin not getting cleansed early, Pentimento coming up, just slowly taking the game back from the Survivors. And
yeah, it definitely, this was the kind of build that like ages as the game goes on, like wine. You know, like every minute that the game goes by, there's a little bit more pressure ramping up, especially with Pentimento being just exactly that kind of perk where the pressure gets built as the game goes on. Pentimento is just such a good perk. It
so
punishes Survivors for cleansing Ruin,
Mhm.
a perk that you really need to cleanse versus Nurse especially.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous.
Absolutely. I still really wonder how the game would have been if Pentimento had come into play before Boons had.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That would have been like, okay, to be fair. Now, if we're talking about like back before they nerfed Undying, which justifiable
my.
nerf, but can you imagine Ruin Undying Pentimento before they nerfed Undying?
I think I would have had a really fun time back then.
Oh, I'm sure the killers would. It would have been the first time in years that killer queues were slow. Oh man, but with that said, Arctic Wolves will pull off the W here. So GG, congratulations to Arctic Wolves and well played to Iconic, very well done. And with that said, that'll be the first match of the day done. Again, first match, 12 o'clock game. I believe got moved to offline. I want to say. So that'll be played offline. Results will be posted later, but we still have 2 matches for you. We got a 2 o'clock one coming up here in just about 30 minutes, and a 4 o'clock. No, that's sorry, 4 o'clock one coming up here in 30 minutes. 6 o'clock one coming up in 2.5 hours. So stay tuned for that. With that said, Jukebox, where can we find you next time you go on? Thanks so much for joining me on this new adventure on Inside Maps.
Yeah, I'm really glad I could be here for the indoor maps because again, I really do enjoy watching and I now enjoy commentating on them. So this was a lot of fun. You guys can find me at JukeboxDBD over on Twitch. I stream DBD and unfortunately VHS is down right now, so I won't be streaming any of that. But yeah, you can check me out over there.
You're a VHS enjoyer?
I do enjoy some VHS on my downtime when I'm not practicing.
All right, I'm gonna have to come check you out then because I need to figure out what the heck is wrong with me in VHS because I can't play it to save my life.
It's a tough game. It's a tough game.
It's just different. It's different. I'm okay with that though. I'm down for some difference.
Yeah.
But with that said, I'm your host, littlerugaard. I'll be back in about 30 minutes, so stay tuned for that. And with that said, you've been watching 10 Minutes of the Fog. It's great to be here. We got indoor maps today. It's gonna be a new experience for everybody. Stay tuned, folks.